fucking peaking, dude.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello. And,
Hello.
well, Kyle.
Oh, sorry.
Hello. And welcome
Didn't mean to interrupt you.
to the Turn 7. What do you guys want to call this? I think this video should be called uh,
Shooting the shot.
Trashtorr.
Because we're talking about Vashtorr.
Should we call it Trashtorr? Is it the Arkifane? Should it be like the farting main?
I don't think Trashtorr is an appropriate name. I think
We're trying to clickbait him here,
flaming
Kyle.
pile of dog shit
Oh, okay. Not the
is a better
direction I
name.
thought you were going in. Okay. So hello, welcome. I am Devon the Henchman, from Turn 7 Gaming. Along with my co-hosts, we have Kyle the Lore Master, and
AKA.
aka the Furry Cuck.
No, the
and-
town fool. Devin.
Oh, sorry, Town Fool. And Cameron the Chaos Guy.
Chaos guy. I don't even get to be a lord.
Nah, you don't get Lord yet.
I'm a chaos guy.
Chaos Guy. Woo! Okay, so today,
You're in the-
as I have already prefaced, we are going to talk a bit about a new release. I also want to say at the beginning, I don't know if you guys saw, but there was like the Reddit leak first, and then on Warhammer Community, like an hour later, the official rules for Vashtorr dropped, and I thought that was
I
Maybe
saw-
it might have been like country, like they dropped it at different time zones. I don't know.
It was a picture of the book for the leak, so that's
Oh,
why,
really?
yeah, that's why I
Okay,
was like,
so leak.
this is weird. So first of all, let's talk about Vashtorr himself. I've got the rules up here, so I'm gonna read them for the people, and then we can talk about them as we go.
Yeah, I got the thing
So-
up as well.
For people who care about power, he's 13 power. For people who care about points, he's 260.
260.
So he's less than Abaddon, but
By 90 points.
he's less than Abaddon. He moves 12.
He does less than Abaddon.
Definitely, for sure. Moves 12, weapon skill 2, ballistic skill 3, which I think is kind of funny because he has auto hits. But
He doesn't do a whole lot of anything, does he?
Kyle, we're not there yet. Strength and toughness 7, 14 wounds, 7 attacks, leadership 9 with a 2-up save. He also, of course, has the 4-up invuln and -1 damage, which everyone has been screaming on Reddit and all the forums. He's got -1 damage. He's good. That's trying to defend him. The stat line is okay.
It's good.
Yeah,
On par.
I feel like because there's a lot of things that fly that get T7, like the Winged Hive Tyrant, right, is T7. So I don't think that that's a problem. I think the weapon skill, of course, that's as good as it can be. If he was gonna be the way he is, maybe more attacks or something, because but the stat line is pretty good. And then obviously you can only include one of this model. He, like I said, does have the 4-up invuln, -1 damage. He's got a flamer, which is his claw, Vashtorr's claw, Trashtorr's claw.
Flaming pile of garbage.
It's 12-inch range, assault D6, strength 5, AP 2, damage 1, and they auto hit. So it's just like
That's just like an okay flamer.
it's just an okay flamer.
260.
Kyle, reel it in. And then his hammer is strength 14, AP -2, damage 3, and then its ability. Cameron, I might be reading this wrong, and you're the chaos guy, but this
Mhm.
makes it worse against vehicles, right? Because like
No.
okay,
Why?
because you have 7 attacks and you hit on 2s, and you're strength 14,
Uh-huh.
so you're gonna wound all vehicles on like 2s or 3s, and
Uh-huh.
it's AP 2, so you're most vehicles like okay. Example: you go up against a Dark Eldar Raider, so you're hitting on
Uh-huh.
2s, wounding on 2s, and you're AP 2, so he's just taking 5-up invulns, and you're damage 3. You would probably get more normal attacks through at damage 3, but you're gonna get that 4 or that 5. I mean, to get the 4 mortals, and it's gonna end the attack sequence. And I feel like you can do more than 4 damage.
It's for every attack. Every
Okay.
attack.
Okay.
So
Okay.
each time, so when it says each time an attack is made, that's all 7.
because they expect you to slow roll it.
No, that's yes, I guess,
That's like how
but
they
each
wrote it.
attack is individual.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah, so every instance of a 5+ is going to be 4 mortals.
okay, it's not just once. That's good. Because I saw the attack sequence ends, I thought that meant the entire like
that just means like for that it doesn't do it in addition. So it
Okay.
doesn't do 4 mortals and the 3 damage from the hammer. It just
Okay.
does 4 mortals.
So really, really good combat
No, yeah,
output.
he can smash pretty much any vehicle,
Yeah.
but that's about it.
Yeah. It makes sense fluff wise that it's vehicle targeted, but not as much
Yeah.
game wise.
If you want me to go into like why he's actually really bad, I can. If you want to go over the whole thing first, that's fine.
Yeah, we'll go through these 3 abilities and then you can shit on him.
Okay.
So he has 3 abilities, and when I first read this, I was like, this is pretty good. He's got like a lot of different utility. And then I read the little tiny text that says in your command phase you can select one of the following abilities.
Yep.
So he doesn't even get all 3. The first one is Unholy Mechanisms, which basically he can select a unit that's a demon engine within 3 inches and give it +1 to hit, which is just the Tech Marine thing. And I'm pretty sure your Warpsmith.
It's worse than the Warpsmith because
Yeah.
it can't be given to Titanic.
Lovely. And then he has got Ghost in the Machine, where he can have the range of an enemy unit within 18. Kyle said that this was a Ghost in the Shell reference. I think that is stupid and wrong.
It sounds like to me.
Bad movie. I fell asleep halfway. He's also got Agonized Machine Spirits. When you select this ability, you select a vehicle within 18 and visible to the model. You have their move and attacks characteristics. So
It's the best one by far.
yeah, when I first read this, I was like, oh, you could pick one unit and just double debuff them, make them half shoot, half move, half attacks, and then realizing it's only one of these is kind of, it's just shit that you have to pick one for that many points. Like you should,
I mean, you just shouldn't be able to pick the same unit for all of them, but you should be able to do all 3.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you can't stack them, but you should be able to do all 3 for sure.
Yeah. And then the last bit that makes it, they just added some. It's like if you took a shit and then you put whipped cream on top, but the whipped cream was more shit. Because if he gains a warlord trait, it has to be Lord of Terror.
Yeah, it's like the worst warlord trait.
It is the worst chaos warlord trait in the book. It would have been nice if they gave him any of the other ones.
Anything else?
Yeah, that's the least. That's just inconsequential. But yeah, if you want to go over Cameron, why?
Do you want to read it? Lord of Terror. Each time a morale test is taken for that unit, your opponent must roll 1 additional d6 and discard the lowest result. If the unit fails the morale test until the end of the phase, it is considered to be below half strength for purposes of combat attrition, and they have to be within 6 inches of him, which is
he's got the
really
he's specking leadership.
Yeah, specking morale. So
he's specking morale. So
pretty bad.
Yeah. In summary, what are you thinking?
So for abilities, he doesn't have Let the Galaxy Burn, so his Flamer does not get the additional +2 that all other Chaos Flamers get.
Okay.
And then he also cannot get the Wonton rules because he doesn't have that either. Okay. So the main draw for him is his Army of Renown.
Yeah,
which
we're gonna get it.
The ability gives all demon engines all the Wonton rules at all times, which is really good.
Yeah.
But literally he cannot get Wonton rules because he doesn't have Let the Galaxy Burn.
Yeah, so he's
that like might be an oversight, but maybe not.
Yeah, and it's so the Cogs of Vashtorr is the Army of Renown, and essentially the limits are just you can't bring any of the specific chaos like elite choices, like no berserkers, rubrics, plagues, or noise marines. Your warlord has to be Vashtorr, and you can't include any other named demon princes if you bring Vashtorr.
You can't include any demon princes, period.
Oh, at all. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you get access to some stratagems, which are pretty good. Some of those are pretty good. They never, all of your Marines, everything in your army never count as a Legion detachment. So like even if you bring all Black Legion, you don't get Black Legion. And then Demon Engines get triple Wantons at all times, which is really strong, I would say. If some of the Demon Engines were better, it would be better, but I think it's cool. And then, but the worst part is immediately after that it says if this unit does not have Demon Engine, it is never considered to be engaged in the Wantons. I don't know if they mean it's never considered to be engaged in all three, or are they saying like the rest of your
They
army
just
loses?
they never benefit from them
Yeah, so
at
that
all.
sucks.
Yeah.
So that just sucks. And then so the relics are okay. I mean, so one of them is you can hand out a feel no pain.
That one's the
Or-
best one by far, for sure.
yeah,
Because you can put that on a like a Lord of Skulls.
yeah. I saw people talking about that.
Right.
And then there's the +1 AP one, which is like okay.
It's okay. It seems really bad, but it's actually every demon engine within 6 inches, so not
Oh, it's an
terrible.
aura. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's still the worst one out of the three, but it's not terrible. But definitely, I wouldn't spend 1 CP for one +1 AP.
Yeah. And then the last one is the Spide Iron Goad, and that's the fallback shoot and charge, one model within 9 if it's a demon engine. That I feel like, I mean, it's situational,
Pretty
but I
good.
feel like that can be pretty good as well.
Yeah.
The stratagems, there's only 6, which is kind of following the like World Leaders pattern of like rules bloat is going away, which I like. I'm not sure. I don't know, Cameron. Do you know? Are you able to still use?
I assume you can.
Okay.
Because since you can use the warlord traits from the regular book, I assume you can use the base Chaos Space Marine stratagems. If you can't, this got even worse. If you can use them, I think it's actually playable.
Yeah.
But if you can't use the regular stratagems, I think it's pretty unplayable. Because I mean, you only get 6, and there's like 30 stratagems in the base book, right?
Yeah.
So,
You just wouldn't be able to use
It's-
maybe like Legion stuff if it's
yeah.
because it actually says you can't use Legion specific stratagems.
Yeah. You can't
Okay.
use Legion specific stratagems, warlord traits, or relics, and it doesn't say anything about the other ones. So I
Okay.
assume you can.
Yeah.
I don't have any other experience with other army renowns, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I
But
don't really either.
um,
Zach would be the guy to know because he's always running a real space raid. But
right.
so yeah, the stratagems. There's only 6. So we can go over them real quick. We've got Forge Surge, sorry, which is 1 CP. It's used in your shooting phase. You basically get auto like whatever. If you have any D6 like shots, you automatically get the max. This can't be used on Titanic, but any demon engine can use it.
Really good on decimators with the soul burners.
I was just about to ask, what is this good on?
It's the best unit it's going to be put on. It's going to be the decimator for sure. You can put it
Okay.
on Forge Fiends, but I don't think Forge Fiends are good. You might as well just bring a decimator with the soul burners for mortal wounds. It's about the same points. And mortal wounds are just better than.
I think it could be pretty good on the Defiler.
Okay, Kyle. Moving on.
The next one is Master's Guidance. It's 2 CP. You use it at the start of the shooting phase or start of the fight phase, and it gives your Warlord a 6-inch reroll hits aura for demon engines, which super situational. A little, I don't know. It's a little weird.
Yeah, nah. I mean, it's 2 CP. As long as you can still use the base stratagems, I would rather just use Demon Forge and get +1 to hit.
Yeah, rather than
This does work on everything, but it's also 2 CP. That's really expensive.
yeah.
So.
Next up we've got Cogitated Fates. Cogitated, man. I don't know. Use it in your shooting phase when you select a Traitorous Astartes unit to shoot until the end of the phase. Each time a model in that unit makes an attack, it ignores cover, basically. Cover
Pretty
is
good.
just
Situational.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's nice to have.
Sure. Did you not have? Is there nothing in the Chaos book that does like an?
So I'll go over why this is like not that good. We can finish this out and then go over.
So then there's Glitch Curse, which is an epic deed stratagem. It's 1 CP. Use it in your opponent's shooting phase when an enemy within 18 inches and visible to your Warlord has finished making its attacks. If any of those attacks targeted a Traitorous Astartes unit from your army that was within 6 inches of your Warlord, roll a d6. On a 2 through 4, the enemy unit suffers d3 mortals. On a 5 up, it's flat 3. This is like just
It's just kind of funny.
Didn't need to be this specific though. Like an enemy unit within 18 that finished making attacks and they targeted a unit within 6 of your warlord, then you can do this. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of it's because they want you to play around Vashtorr being near your shit. So,
yeah,
which is annoying.
Yeah, they kind of gave him like a one trick basically. I mean, he has 3 tricks, but they want you to play him one way. He doesn't have like multiple builds, I don't think. Then we've got Kakaspark or Kakaspark Prattle or Pradle, whatever you want. It's also 1 CP. Use the stratagem after your opponent uses a stratagem that's not the CP reroll. If your warlord's on the battlefield until the end of the battle, that CP, whatever they spent on that, is increased by 1.
Super good.
Yeah,
you can put this on counteroffensive, make it 3 CP.
Yeah, you can make it 3 CP to interrupt. You can make it 2 CP to Overwatch. You can. It's good for a lot of things. It's actually low key built for AdMech, I feel like, because they have a lot of stratagems that are pretty cheap. And it doesn't say that this is once. Oh, it does say this is once per battle.
Yeah, it's once per battle. That's why I think it's probably going to be most used on counteroffensive. That's probably
3 CP counteroffensive that's rough. That's really rough.
That's what I'm saying. Like most people play around counteroffensive. So I feel like they have to use it once first before you can do this to it. But I would say counteroffensive usually gets used like at least 3 times per game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Next up is Foul Alterations. I know how to pronounce this one. It's 1 CP. Use it in your movement phase when a demon engine is selected to advance. Until the end of the turn, it can shoot, charge, and advance. That one's pretty good too.
Also, probably the best one.
It also doesn't say you can't. Yeah, you can't use it on. You can use it on Titanic. So Lord of Skulls.
Lord of Skulls.
You can just advance shoot.
Oh yeah.
I think Vashtorr is meant solely to bring Lord of Skulls back into
battle. That's what all the people on Reddit were saying. He attacks to take the Army of Renown, which makes demon engines better. Which I guess that's true. But I would argue, why would you bring this over just playing Iron Warriors? It's like the same thing, and they have better Legion-specific stuff for demon engines. I think the only thing they're missing out on is probably this advance and charge thing, and then the 5-up feel no pain that you can give with the relic. Those are probably the 2 things that I would say they don't have access to. So,
yeah, I think
because they innately have ignores cover, that just ignores that, and then they have like Armor of Contempt against AP 1 and 2. So.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw this. There's this blog post that made this like sample list. It wasn't Goonhammer, it was somebody else. I'll give them credit on screen. But they made like a sample army for a Cogs of Vashtorr army. So I'm gonna read it to you, Cameron, and see what you think. It's got Vashtorr with no warlord trait because duh.
Yep.
Lordy D with the Talisman of the Forge, Flames of Spite, and Tzeentch. Master P with Eye of Tzeentch, Cursed Earth, Mutated Invigoration. I think it's a 5-man Legionary squad, Power Fist, Chain Axe, Malefic Tome, Prescience. Double Soulburner Decimator. Chaos Spawn, double Venom Crawler, Forge Fiend with triple Ectoplasma, and the Lord of Skulls with the Skull Hurler and the Ichor Cannon.
Can you send it to me? That's interesting for sure.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know if this is like the best thing you can do with the detachment or whatever, but I definitely feel like when I read this, I was like, oh, this could. It made it look better to me, at least.
No, yeah, I was messing around with some stuff. It's just, man, he's so expensive, and he kind of does nothing besides hit stuff. Him like not really having any good passive buffs is really tough.
Yeah, the fact that everything has to be like selected and targeted, like it's weird that he doesn't just have an aura. Like he has no built-in.
Yeah, he has no auras. That's weird.
Why?
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure like every named character in the game has a some type of aura,
Yeah.
some type of passive buff.
Yeah, I think that's really weird.
Makes no sense. And I don't know why he would be limited on his one buff to not Titanic when a regular Warpsmith is not. Like, I don't get how this guy that's supposed to be like the master of the forge isn't like the best at all of that stuff. And he should be able to do more than them, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
Because he can't heal vehicles, and his +1 to hit is worse.
Yeah.
So, I don't get it.
Yeah, I really don't either. So lore-wise, I feel like Vashtorr is super cool and super important, and kind of like one of the coolest additions to Chaos in a while as like a new character. And then rules-wise, he just falls so flat.
Yeah.
I honestly think this is a bit of a misstep on Games Workshop's part, just because the book isn't out yet, and they probably could have baited a lot more people into buying it if they didn't drop these beforehand.
Yeah, for sure. So I definitely will not be buying him. I don't think the trade-offs for running the Legion of Renown are better than like what you can already get in the base book. But we'll see.
Yeah.
See what other people can do. It's just you're not gonna be able to score with this.
That's the other big thing. Chaos is already kind of hard to score.
We don't have if they gave us stratagems with this Army of Renown, maybe. But they didn't, so
yeah, some OPSEC stuff or
not stratagems, some what are they called? I'm going blank.
Secondaries?
Secondaries, thank you.
Yeah, that is weird that they had this. Okay, it's possible actually. I don't know. Maybe
in the book,
maybe, right? Because this is just the way that they do rules usually is like the base rules are there, but like some of the extra stuff isn't. So there might be book specific stratagems in there.
Gotcha.
There also might be, some other detachment that's like an Angron, Vashtorr, Abaddon like super detachment. But I mean that's anybody's guess. I just feel like they're not done. This can't be it. They built this up so much. This cannot be all they're doing with him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they didn't include anything for obliterators either, and I feel like they're kind of in that like demon engine type lists, and they just get nothing in this, which is kind of odd. Especially after them getting new models and them just not like really buffing them up. It's kind of odd to me.
Yeah, they do kind of fit the theme. Like they're definitely, I don't know, like it's funny, the picture on Warhammer Community is like Vashtorr and like Forge Fiends and Demon.
Well, the box has like has obliterators in the box set with him.
Yeah, and
they don't get rules with them. That makes no sense.
He's actually standing next to Flesh Hounds and Bloodletters too. And I don't.
This is just like the chaos thing. I know what you're talking about, but like in the box he comes with.
The one with Azrael and stuff. Yeah, he comes with obliterators. Yeah, no, it makes no sense. So if you were gonna rate this out of 10, let's start with Kyle, and then I'll do me, and then Cameron will go last. Okay. The actual chaos guy.
Rating the box?
No, rating Vashtorr and the Army of Renown. You can give them two separate ratings.
Probably do them separately.
Yeah.
Is this based on the rules only?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rules only.
Competitive viability.
Competitive viability?
Yeah.
I mean, there could be like a guy out there who just finds a list that clicks with this guy.
Sure.
Right. Do really well. But for like, I mean, but that's I don't know, who knows if that's gonna happen. I think he's like maybe he has the potential to be like a 6, but he's like a 5 or a 4 probably.
And then the Army of Renown.
Probably, I mean, there's some good pieces in there. Probably around the same.
Okay, so like we could see a 6, but
I think there like in certain cases this could do really well. But just but in like competitive play and for like the general field, there's just better options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that Vashtorr's pushing like a 4. The no auras thing, the fact that he doesn't get wantons. Basically, I already didn't love him, and then everything Cameron said made me like him less. So I'm saying Vashtor's a 4. I'm saying the cog of Vashtorr, Army of Renown, is like a 5. I think it could be a gatekeeper army where like it won't win tournaments, but you might have to learn to beat it if somebody comes up with a build. It could get to that point where like it won't win GTs, but like it might win RTTs and it might block you from winning or something.
Yeah, that's fair.
I agree. I would probably give Vashtorr around a 4 or 5. I think he's a really good beat stick. I think he can do a lot of damage to vehicles. But like if you go up against an army that has no vehicles or very few, he kind of does nothing. He literally does nothing.
Got that axe.
It's a hammer. But
never mind.
Yeah, I mean the Army of Renown, I think it gives it good buffs. I think you're totally right. It is a gatekeeper army. If you bring a Lord of Skulls, I think that's like the best demon engine in the book by far. Putting a 5-up Philopane on it, and there is a stratagem. I believe you are going to be able to use the stratagems because in this list, he's using relics from the base book, so I don't see why you wouldn't be able to use the stratagems as well.
Yeah.
There is a stratagem for 3 CP if you put it on the Lord of Skulls for -1 damage as well.
Holy crap.
Is that for a phase?
Yeah, it's for 1 phase.
Okay.
I believe. So -1 damage and a 5 of Feel Pain, you're definitely not killing it, and you're going to do way less damage. So I mean that's definitely going to reduce a lot of the damage on like a turn 1 or 2. You're going to get alpha striked, but after that you're going to have no CP, and if he fails like a 7-8 inch charge maybe on turn 1 or 2, if he fails that and he does nothing, you kind of just lose, because with this army you aren't going to be scoring primary that well, and I don't know how well you're going to be scoring secondaries either. So basically you just have to kill your opponent.
Yeah.
Which
is the
I think there are other things that are just better at that than this, but who knows?
Yeah. Okay, well, I think that is about it. I guess this is the cogs of Lord of Skulls detachment now, because I feel like
that and decimators. I think
you have to bring.
I think
those.
decimators are definitely get a big power boost in this with the like auto, max shots on one guy. I think that's really strong. Something I learned, I was reading in the frequently asked questions on the Chaos Space Marines, and the Decimator Soul Burners do not get affected by stuff like transhuman because they don't require a wound roll to be successful. It's just a 2+. So anything that modifies their wound rolls does not do anything.
That's huge. That's a huge piece of tech right there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's about it on the review of Vashtorr. These are our opinions. You have yours. If you agree with us or disagree with us, drop a comment, like the video, or dislike it. Either way, it's an interaction and it helps us. So click something. Click a button on your screen right now. Okay, now that you've done that, thank you for watching. This has been a new rules release review from the Turn 7 team. I am your host, signing off, Devon the Henchman, along with my co-host, Kyle, the Lore Master, Townfool, and Furry Cuck.
Thank you.
And Cameron, the cog
Chaos
of
guy.
the Chaos Guy.
Chaos Guy.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.